Do you have a memory of a birthday party or Christmas that was so memorable that every detail is sketched in your brain for life and you can remember it all these years later? I know I do. My sister and ours came at Christmas in 1978. We got our first Barbie dream house. It was so exciting. My parents loved Christmas, and my mom every year would buy us each our own matching Christmas nightgowns, the fancy ones that had the little lace around the collar, and we were so excited to wear them. Our Barbie dream house was 3 stories high, hot pink, and it came with an elevator that only worked once. That was a bummer, but my sister and I had to share it, and I'm just gonna say she broke it. Let's just be real. To top it off, our aunt also gave us the matching Barbie pink Corvette. It was amazing. It was the cat's meow. We had the whole Barbie set up. It was a Christmas that neither of us have ever forgotten. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and Barbie enthusiast, welcome to Bloody Barbie. First, a public service announcement. I am not affiliated with Mattel or the Barbie movie and its messaging. I just loved Barbie as a little girl. And if any of you are sensitive to visual stimulation, there will be a little bit of a graphic description, but there will be no visuals, so you may turn off this speech if those types of things bother you. Back to 1978. After Christmas, I begged my mom, can I have a slumber party? Please, please, please. And she said yes. All right, awesome. The Barbie extravaganza was going to begin. I pulled out the Barbie dream house into the front room. I had the Corvette. I had the 80s Barbie with the feathered hair. I had all the clothes, and I had everything set up ready to go. We ate dinner, and I was waiting in my living room for Joanna, my neighbor, to come over. We already put our pajamas on so we could maximize the amount of time we had to play with our Barbies. We played for Barbies for 5 hours in our Christmas pajamas. Then came the dreaded voice from the hallway from my mom. Time for bed, girls. We tried whispering so we could keep playing. And then the dad voice came. You know the one. I mean it! Bedtime! He comes charging into the living room and sets up our sofa bed. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen these pull-out beds in hotels that are pretty flimsy and the mattresses aren't very good. Well, we had an industrial sofa bed. It had a 6-inch metal frame, and my dad had tugged 3 times just to get it out of the casing so we could make the bed. Once it was all set up and the parents went into the room, we decided to make up a game. We called it Dead Man's Fall. We would stand up on the height of it with our Barbies, and we would fall back, and the first one to pop up off the mattress wins. Okay, we're ready. It sounds fun, right? But remember, Joanna's a 1.5 feet shorter than I am. So we have our Barbies clutched in hand, and we're on the bed. And Joanna says, 1, 2, 3, fall! She pops right back up. As for me, crack! I cracked my head open on the steel frame of the sofa bed. There was blood everywhere. Of course, the room went fuzzy and Barbie went blurry. All of a sudden, I hear running down the hallway and my dad's coming in. He's a Vietnam veteran. You would think a man who survived Vietnam would know how to deal with a bleeding child. Nope. He looked at me and said, I've seen worse. A butterfly bandage, you'll be fine. Literally, a butterfly bandage on the top of my head. There was no ambulance. There was no theatrics. We just had to go to bed, lights out. Fast forward till the next morning. I hear my dad. He's rumbling, making coffee. And then my mom comes into the room and she goes, Dave! And then Joanna and I wake up and we look at each other and then we scream. Ah! I had bled through the butterfly bandage that night, and there were streaks of my dried blood all through Joanna's hair, over our nightgowns, in our Barbies. It was terrifying. My dad comes in and says, Diane, you better call Judy. And my mom's like, but we have to go to the ER. And then my dad said, you can't take her home like that. It's terrifying. Call Judy. I'll get Kelly in the car. So my mom calls Judy. Judy, I'm so sorry. I have to bring Joanna home and she's going to look terrifying, but she's okay. And then she goes in and tells her the story of how I hit my head. And it was pretty bad. Joanna looked like Carrie, you know, that scary film, the Slumber Party edition. It was really terrifying looking. So I felt bad for Judy to have to see her daughter that way. We get to the ER, and all of a sudden I'm lying there and the door opens. And this beautiful man comes in and he said, Kelly, you're going to need 8 stitches. And my mom freaks out, crying again. David, why did you do the butterfly bandage? So the doctor takes my mom out in the hall, calms her down, says they just have to shave a tiny piece of my head. We're going to get 8 stitches. We're going to be fine. I'm still kind of out of it because the nurse had done the stitches and I'm laying in bed. And all of a sudden, the doctor comes back in from talking to my mom, and I see him in clear view now. And oh my gosh, I have to tell you, it was better than a Ken doll. He was beautiful. He was tall with black wavy hair and luscious brown skin and a smile that lit up the room. Then he looked at me and said, "You're all patched up, dear. You can go home." And all of a sudden, I look down at my bloody Christmas nightgown and my Barbie, and I start to cry. Oh, my Barbie's ruined. The doctor looks at me, takes my hand, and said, "Sweetheart, she's not ruined. She can now be your Halloween Barbie." And I'm like, brilliant. I'm going to marry this man when I get big. He's perfect. He's smart. He's beautiful. Now I have a Halloween Barbie and I'm really excited. So I asked my mom if we can make a Halloween Barbie scary outfit. I think she just took a sheet and put it over the Barbie. And at the end of that experience, what did I learn from my bloody Barbie? One, never trust the clearance of a hide-a-bed when you're a tall girl. Number two, butterfly bandages do not work for head wounds. And number three, there's always a silver lining during a trauma. I picked out the man I was going to marry, and I had a Halloween Barbie. Madam Toastmaster.